All right, here we are for some more RV sales process. So if you're out there at the RV dealership and you're having trouble closing RV customers, then this is a great stream for you to be at. Today we're going to talk about the one-day close and why it is important to close your RV customers on the first visit, right? Because as RV salespeople, we get a lot of customers that tell us they're just looking around, or they're not buying today, or they're just researching, or whatever the case might be. And that really discourages us from the very beginning. And it sets the sale, or it sets us up rather, as, in a bad light because we're not in the right mindset. We don't have the right framework to move on with the sale, right? Because if we listen to them and we say, hey, this person's not buying today, this is what I'm saying to myself mentally, right? Hey, this person is not buying today. They told me as soon as they came in that they're not buying. So I'm just going to send them out to the dealership. I'll let them take a look. I'm not going to hound them. I'm not going to ask them any questions. And that's what they want to happen, because the truth is, customers are automatically defensive. They don't want to tell you they're buying today, even if in their mind they're buying today. They want to be left alone, maybe, or they want to make their own decisions, or they think they want to go out and take a look at your RVs and then come back and get you when they have questions, or whatever the case is. But the truth, your customers are ready to buy today. They're just looking for a salesperson who is able to convey the idea that the RV purchase today is more important than the money that they need to spend on it, right? So how are we going to be able to do that? The way that we have to do that is we have to learn our customers' true needs, their wants, their emotions, ask questions, control the sale from the very beginning. Show them units that make sense for their budget, their needs, their wants, their desires, what they're trying to accomplish, and all the different things you need. And then you need a price that aligns with their budget, their monthly payment, their cash down, whatever the case may be there, right? And then we have to go after their true emotions. We have to close towards their wants, their needs, their desires. That's how we're going to get a one-day close. And it's not just in RV sales, right? It's in any line of sales, whether it's logistics, software, business to business, business to consumer. It doesn't matter. Our customers are ready to buy today if we're able to show them why our product or service solves problems or issues, or, brings value to our customer's life. With an RV, it's very easy to add value to our customer's life, because an RV is a recreational vehicle. We use an RV to travel with our loved ones. We travel with our family, our friends, our kids. We do bucket list items like go to the Grand Canyon and Yellowstone and travel all 50 states, and all the different things we do in an RV, right? We do it because it's exciting, because it brings joy to our life, because it creates memories, right? So it's not hard to sell an RV because it's tied to things that are priceless. It's easy to justify $200 a month when we're talking about traveling with our kids and kayaking down the river with our kids, and taking our son on a fishing trip and teaching him how to fish, and doing all of these different things that we do when we're camping. Stories around the fire, cornhole, listening to music, hiking, camping, and just having fun and creating those memories. And if some of us have RV'd before, or maybe we RV'd with our parents, we understand what I'm talking about, right? And some of those things are priceless memories that we can never get back. Our parents, to think about it, let's say we were kids and we went with our parents camping. Our parents are not looking back and saying, man, I really wish I would have had that $200 a month when we had that RV, as opposed to going on these camping trips and going kayaking with my kids and enjoying the time that I spent with my loved ones while I was young, while I was able, while I was traveling, right? As we get older, we tend to regret not doing things like that, right? So, it's not hard to justify the purchase of an RV to a customer because it brings priceless memories and things into their life. And that's one of the things you have to understand. One of the frameworks you need in your sales process before you move forward, so that when a customer tells you that they are not buying today, you can hear what they're saying and almost kind of dismiss it, right? I'm not letting that hinder my sales process moving forward. I'm not letting that get me as a salesperson in a bad framework or a bad mindset so that I can do a good job in my sales process. Because the truth is, if I'm able to do a good sales process and I'm able to pull my customers' emotions, their wants, their needs, their desires, and I'm able to show them why 200, 400, $1,000 a month is not worth the memories with their family or the friends or accomplishing the goals that they want to accomplish, whatever the case is. If I'm able to convey that, then my customer is going to buy. But if I simply, show them around or send them out to the lot and I don't bring those emotions into the sale and they can't connect those emotions and traveling and memories and their kids and kayaking, if they can't connect those things to the travel trailer or the motorhome or the fifth wheel or whatever you're looking at, then there's no emotion in the deal. And they're going to be someone that's looking or researching or buying in 2 to 5 years because they simply don't have the emotion in the deal. They don't care enough about the deal to buy an RV. They don't see why $200 a month is not worth more than, traveling with their kids. But again, if you went traveling with your kids or even if you have kids, you don't look back on the vacations and the money that you spent with them 5, 10, 15 years ago or 2 years ago or even, a month ago and say, "Man, I really wish I would have had, the money for that Disney concert we took our kids to because it would have been so much better to have, $200 instead of taking my kids to Disney." No. The experience with your kids at Disney was probably worth way more than $200. So you never look back and say, "Hey, I wish I would have had that money back." But you will look back at later in your life and say, "Man, I wish I would have traveled more with my kids. Man, I wish I would have went and seen the Grand Canyon. Man, I wish I would have X, Y, and Z." Right? So we have to build value for these customers. And Juan Perez, thank you for the comment. He goes, "Yes, 100%. The goal should be building the value and giving them the permission to buy. They want reassurance that they are making a good buying decision." And you're 100% right, Juan. That is exactly what I'm talking about. They want to be able to walk down, the sales process and at the end of it say, "You know what? Juan is right. You know what? My salesperson is right. We need to, accomplish X, Y, and Z. These are more important than the payment that I need for the RV or for whatever it is. Let me buy this RV today. I'm not sure why I've waited so long." And, I've had customers say that to me, "Thank you for explaining it to me like that. Thank you for pulling out my emotions because at the end of the day, we should have bought this 3 years ago, but a salesperson has never been able to get me to realize what you're saying right now." So, it's very important that we're pulling out our customers' emotions, their needs, their wants, their desires. And it's important that we have the right mindset going into a deal. Stop listening to your customers when they tell you that they're not buying today. Stop listening to your customers when they tell you that they're just looking or they're researching. Sure, there might be a little bit of truth to that, but there's also truth in the fact that if they find the right RV, if you pull out their emotions, if you pull out their needs, their wants, their desires, that they can and will and have the means to buy today. You just have to get them to walk down that road. And as Juan said, give them permission to buy. That might seem complicated, or it might seem like common sense, but at the end of the day, it's not so easy to do. And that's why RV sales and sales in general is a high turnover area, right? And there's only a few top performers at each location. Or if we have a top performing sales team, it's probably because we have a very good sales training and we have, good ways to overcome these objections, because the truth is it's hard to deal with people's emotions. And customers are emotional buyers. We're not logical buyers. Logically, it makes sense to buy an RV at $200 a month if I can go camping with my loved ones, create priceless memories, travel the US, X, Y, and Z. Logically, that makes sense. Who would argue that they don't want to travel with their loved ones, right? But emotionally, I'd rather have the $200. The market is crazy right now. Gas prices are high. Inflation is off the charts. And because of all of these emotional things, I should hold my dreams. I should put my dreams off because of the market, because of inflation, because of this and that. I should put my kids and my loved ones and my memories and my dreams to the wayside for inflation, for gas prices, for the market. None of that stuff is more important than spending time with your loved ones, your kids, spending, good memories with your family and your friends. None of that's more important than that logically. Now, emotionally, when I get caught up in money and I get caught up in the daily, life, and I get caught up in this and that and Sally's soccer game and, Billy's baseball game and, oh my God, new cleats and da 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 da. Well, now emotionally, now I'm distraught. Now I'll use those emotions and call it logic. I'll call it logic, but I'll truly just use those emotions to talk myself out of a deal that I really should be buying. And we do it all the time as customers, as buyers, as people. You've heard of maybe buyer's remorse, and that's what that is. It's emotions coming up after the deal that really make us regret buying that product, that RV, that service, that whatever it is. That really might be better for us if we just use it and allow it to better our lives and allow it to, do what it's supposed to do. And that's why, as a good RV salesperson, we need to be delivering products and services to our customers that meet their true needs, wants, goals, and emotions, so that when they get out there on the road and they take their family to these places, that they're doing exactly what they told you they were going to do. They don't get to, the campground and find out that their RV can't, put kayaks in it because it's too small, but they told you as the salesperson that their main goal was to go kayaking, but now they can't bring the kayaks, right? That's how we turn into a terrible salesperson. That's how we get a bad name for our dealership. That's how we do not get any, repeat customers or any referral business, because we don't actually care about our customer. But when we care about our customer, we're able to create 1-day closes. We're able to get people to buy today because they trust us and they know that we care about them. That's when we're able to close a sale today instead of in a year, right? And that's what we have to understand about RV sales. We have to be in the right framework from square one. If we're not in the right framework, if we're not focused on helping our customers, getting them their, an RV that meets those emotions, meets those needs, meets those wants, provides them with something that can do what they want to do when they get there, if we're not focused on that as a salesperson, we're not going to ask the right questions. We're not going to dig deep. We're not going to go past surface level. And we're not going to do the things we need to do to be able to bring enough emotion into the deal to make the customer want to buy today, right? Because that's what we need to do. We need to sell them an RV today. We don't want customers that are consistently looking down the road. Let's see, these are great things, but unfortunately, large franchise organizations often ruin their sales teams. Let's see, Steve says here, these are great things, but unfortunately, large franchise organizations often ruin their sales teams. And I do agree with that, Steve. And I think a lot of the reason is when you get large organizations, They tend to get rid of their training. They tend to, not spend as much time on their salespeople as they need to. And the truth is sales is the hardest job in any business. I don't care what you say, what you create. Yes, it's hard to create software. Yes, it's hard to develop new things. Yes, it's hard to create products and services. But without a great sales team, nothing can get done, right? And if your sales team doesn't understand how to reach those emotions, needs, and wants of your customer, whether it be RVs, logistics, software, business to business, business to consumer, retail, it doesn't matter. If your sales team doesn't know how to get to the customer's emotions, then they're going to be lackluster. And I agree with you. I think large franchises lose that because they get away from the one-on-one sales training. They hire people in positions that maybe they shouldn't be in. They hire sales managers in positions when a sales manager doesn't even understand these basic things that we're talking about here in this video. Right. So if I'm a sales manager and I'm supposed to teach my sales team how to, pull emotions, needs, and wants out of my customers, but I can't do that myself, well, that's what happens. And then you talk about high turnover, people going to multiple businesses, good salespeople leaving a lot because commissions, are X, Y, and Z. They're not good enough. They're cutting back. Whatever the case is, there's a million things that happen. But I agree with you. And we have to do a better job of taking care of our sales teams and training our sales teams to do these things. So, and if we did that, Steve, I guarantee you a lot of our businesses, a lot of our franchises, a lot of our companies, our organizations, our dealerships would start making more money, right? But it's sometimes it's hard to run those big organizations, right? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts. So sometimes that stuff can get lost, right? And that just goes back to, if you're a personal salesperson in any space, you should be doing your own training. You shouldn't be waiting for your dealership or your business or your, whatever the case is, wherever you work. You shouldn't be waiting on them to train you. You should be joining streams like this, going on YouTube, reading books like the book that I have on Amazon, Sell More, Live More Sales Training. Go get you a copy. It's like $13, something like that. So it's not too expensive. Go get you a copy, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and you can see these principles, read these principles, learn these principles, and train yourself on them day in and day out. Because at the end of the day, as salespeople, we have to take more accountability for our own training. We can't just keep looking to our business to bring us leads, train us on how to close the deals, walk us through how to close the deals. I get it's part of their job, yes, but as a human, it's your job as well to improve yourself, to train yourself, to educate yourself, right? And if we're not doing that, then we're not just only doing injustice to ourselves and our own paychecks, we're doing injustice to our dealerships, right? So doing a one-day close, closing your customer on the first time they visit has to do with our framework, our mindset, right? Everybody is a buyer. As long as I can learn their needs, wants, and emotions, they are a buyer, right? So once I know that, hey, listen, once I understand that, once I have that framework, and now when customers tell me, hey, I'm not buying today, I can say, I hear what you're saying, but let's go through the sales process anyway. Let's see what happens at the end of it anyway. Let's see what happens after I learn your needs, wants, emotions, desires. Let's see if you buy it now, right? And the next part of that is now we have to really get good at learning our customers' true needs, their wants, their desires, and then closing towards those needs, wants, and desires. So once we have our framework down and we understand that everybody is a buyer, well, now what we have to do is dig deep. And the way that we learn customers' emotions, the way that we learn their needs, their wants, we ask questions and we listen to their answers, right? So in our interview and qualify process, we should be asking questions that start with who, what, when, where, why, and how, and getting our customers talking about what they're going to be doing with the RV, what they're going to be doing with the software, what they're going to be doing with the logistics, right? What problems they're having with their current RV, their current software, their current logistics, their current services, their current car, their current home. What issues are they having? What would they like to fix, right? Where are they going to go? Who's going to be going with you? How are you going to be using it? Why is that important to you? What would it mean for you to be able to accomplish these goals? What would it mean for you to be able to travel the United States? What would it mean for you to be able to, go camping with your kids every weekend, take them on fishing trips, and create these priceless memories you're talking about, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? How important is that to you? And when you ask deep questions like that are rooted in emotion, that are designed to pull emotion out of our customer, well, now they have no other avenue. They have no other way, no other place to go but digging into their emotions, thinking about those desires, thinking about their kids, thinking about traveling and doing these things that are priceless and that at the end of the day will be worth more than the money you ask them to pay for it. And that's how you're going to close a customer on their first visit. That's how you're going to get a 1 day close, is by learning those emotions, learning the needs, learning their wants, and then closing towards those needs, wants, and desires, right? Let's say, a customer, we learn on our interview and qualify, we show them the right RV, we're at the right price, we have the right unit, everything is perfect, right? It's the perfect RV that's going to meet our customers' needs, that's going to allow them to accomplish everything we learned in the front of the sales process, right? We show them that RV, we got the numbers down, the price is right, we're in negotiation, we're at the close, and they're telling me, Chris, I hear what you're saying, but $200 a month, that's a lot of money, and we just can't afford that right now. So we're not going to buy this RV today. I'm going to say something like, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. How come you want to let $200 a month stop you from creating memories with your loved ones, creating those priceless adventures that you want to go on with your kids? You're not getting any older. Your kids aren't getting any, or I'm sorry, you're not getting any younger. Your kids aren't getting any younger. So how come you want to put off your dreams and all this stuff that's really more important than $200? How come you want to put that off? Buy the RV, sign right here, because this RV will help you accomplish those goals, and that's more important. Sign right here. Right? So now you see how I'm closing towards emotions. I'm not saying, hey, this is a great price. I'm not saying, hey, you're getting a special deal here. I'm not saying, oh, this is the greatest RV ever and it's got, a brand new tongue jack and it's the only one we have on our lot. None of that stuff's emotional. Some of that stuff might be true. It might be the last unit, X, Y, and Z. Some of that stuff might be true, but it's not what's going to close a deal. The emotions is what's going to close the deal. So now when they say, Chris, I understand we're putting off our emotions, we're doing this, we're doing that, you're going to go right back to it. Well, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. It doesn't make much sense for you to not buy this RV today. It's the perfect RV. It's at the right price. It's going to help you accomplish X, Y, and Z. So stop putting your dreams on hold. Buy this RV today. Sign right here. Right? So I'm always going back to those emotions. I'm always closing towards those emotions. I'm always bringing up the things that they want to do, that they care about, the fishing, the kayaking, the memories, the this, the that, the million different things, the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, traveling the US, going to Canada, the different things that you learn from your customers. Those are what I'm using to close the deal. And when you're able to learn customers' emotions, needs, and wants, and you're able to find them a product or RV that meets those needs exactly, and then when you're able to close them towards those needs, wants, and desires, now you have the recipe for a 1 day close, right? But it all comes through. The whole sales process ties together. If you don't have a good introduction, if you don't have a good interview and qualify, if you don't, dig past surface level in the beginning of the sales process, it's not going to matter at the end of the sales process. You're not going to be able to close that deal because you're not going to have the information you need to close the deal. So you have to understand, as an RV salesperson and a salesperson across the board, that we have to slow ourselves down. We have to learn our customers' true needs, wants, and emotions by asking who, what, when, where, why, and how questions. And then once we learn those needs, wants, and emotions, we have to close towards those needs, wants, and emotions, and we have to be on the right RV at the right price with the right features to be able to do that. That's how you're going to get a one visit close. Okay, so if you at your dealership, you need some better training, you need more training, whatever the case might be, we can help you out here at IMR. That's what we do. We do sales training and we get you more customer leads for your sales team. So, whether you need more leads for your sales team, you want more conversations happening with those salespeople, give me a call. You can reach me directly, 330-703-3930. Again, 330-703-3930. Let's talk about getting your sales team more internet leads, more walk-in leads, more customer leads in general. That way they can close more deals. And if you need, more sales training, better sales training, or just sales training in general for your sales team, we can do that as well. We offer virtual training right online at sellmorelivemore.net, or you can give me a call, 330-703-3930, and we can talk about, in-person training or, live video training or, different programs that we offer depending on how much training you want for your sales team. So if you're a dealership, if you're a business that wants to get in front of more customers or wants to, some more training, give me a call, 330-703-3930. You can also visit us online at got.marketing, or you can get virtual training online at sellmorelivemore.net. So today we were talking about, how to go through a one-day close. But if you're an RV salesperson or a salesperson in general that's out there that wants to do some live role plays with me, shoot me a message on LinkedIn, give me a call. Let's schedule in a live role play. That way we can get your sales process dialed in. We can, help you overcome some objections and help you close more deals. So, thank you for being here at the RV sales process. Hopefully you got something from it. If you did, please comment, share, like, do all that stuff on the video there. That way we can get more RV salespeople and salespeople across the board watching this video and helping them close some more deals. So again, thank you for being here at the RV sales process. We're going to be talking about sales process all year. So I will see you at the next one.